Number 5, coffee reduces muscle pain.
What?
I highlighted this whole section. A small study involving 9 women suggested that drinking 2 cups of coffee can reduce post-workout muscle soreness. This is significant for active people concerned about soreness after an intense workout.
A small study. Talk about the ultimate cherry picking.
9 women is the study you're citing to say that muscle soreness, you can decrease muscle soreness with coffee? Good morning, Ty.
Good morning, Ben.
What's going on?
Oh, not much, man. It's a beautiful morning and steamy hot Dallas.
Yeah, we're matching shirts today. Not actually, but the color. I like how it brings out your eyes. It's a good look.
Thank you.
I like how it accentuates your pectoralis muscles.
Pectoralis.
You must bench press.
I love that, like, my twins, they still call them boobies either way.
Boobies?
Boobies either way. Like, guys or girls, it's boobies. Daddy, I can see your boobies. Don't put them away.
Yeah, when does, you have older kids. I have a 5-year-old. When does, like, being naked get weird? He's starting to be a little sensitive to it.
So interesting, right? And this is, there's an article out talking about, funny enough, because we just had this conversation, because like with our kids, like being naked around them is like not ever really been a thing. Now my daughter's 10, and that
seems a little old.
At like 5,
Okay.
like there was a distinct separation between me being anywhere around,
Right.
you know, and like you've got to be careful, right? Because you don't want to like make someone feel ashamed or self-conscious or anything like that. Like you don't want them, but you also like, look, that's your private space, right? And want especially my daughter, want her to recognize that, and like, you know, her and my wife, you know, they're very, very, very open, right? But so there's an article out there on how young boys seeing their mom naked at a young age, and the longer they do, how that actually how that turns into like sexual exploration at an earlier age, that like turns into pornography, turns into all that stuff.
Really?
Because even though it's their mom, they can't process that, hey, that's my mom.
That's
like, there's still things that they're seeing that they're attracted to, even, you know, starting at a younger age. Because I mean, think about, you go back, right? Like, I mean, I was, like 5, 6, 7, and it was like, ooh, you know, like I'm flipping through the channels and you see the scrambles, and
Right.
it's like, oh, what is that? What is that? You know what I
saw
mean?
nip.
You know? And so it starts early, but like early, so exposure to your kids. And they say like anything after 5, really, you've got to be careful about, you know, especially moms with sons, you know, for them seeing you exposed. And so it's just one of those things that I didn't think about it. My 5-year-old is obsessed with my wife. Like, he's obsessed. Yeah. He gets upset. Like anytime, like she'll like give me a kiss, or like, you know, he still thinks that he's going to marry
his mom.
And then she's like, no, you can't. I'm married to daddy. And he's like, no. And he like loves her. And so like, it was weird because someone shared this article with us, and we were like, oh my gosh.
We better put the...
Yeah. Because
the
he's
brakes
always
on
like, she's going to kill me for this. He'll like walk up behind her, like if she's in the kitchen or whatever, and he'll just like, you know, put his hand like on the back of her leg and like inappropriately go up. She's like, oh my gosh. Because he'll see me do it too.
Right.
And
Right.
Sorry, babe. I'm just throwing it all out there.
Hey, that's what we're about.
I get a little handsy every once in a while, you know. I can't help myself. But so just be conscious about that. You got to be conscious about your and I'll share the article with you, Ben. But it's it's interesting. I didn't even think about that, but how that can lead to just like sexual obsessions, you know, early on.
Huh.
I know. Anyways, random. So the answer is now. Don't let them. Nakedness is
Right.
I think boys, right? Because again, they're going to be in locker rooms. They're going to be that's got to be. It's normalized, right? And you don't want to make it like forbidden, right? Because then kids just naturally want to explore what they can't do.
Yeah.
But I think when it becomes opposite sex, you've got to be really conscious of it.
Yeah, that was always an awkward deal in middle school. It was those guys that were super, mature and had already gone through puberty. They had no problem showering. That was the furthest thing in my mind was there's zero chance I'm getting naked in front of other dudes and showering in middle school.
Dude, I remember so in junior high, so that was the same deal. And wrestling, we had to shower after practice because if you came from the wrestling room and then you went home, changed, like you have a higher probability of catching like a skin disease, like ringworm or something like that. Yeah. That's like rampant in the wrestling community. So coach is like, no, you have to shower before you go home because like we're not letting any of you nasties bring this skin stuff like into the wrestling room. But it was funny because there was a distinct like which guys would take a shower with the towel still on. So like they'd get two towels, they'd have a towel on and then they'd have a towel over here and wouldn't take it off. And then, like
there was the random guy too with the bathing suit, with the swimsuit.
100%, 100%. Would pack it.
Or his tights or whatever.
Yeah,
in the shower.
100%. But then you got the bullies, right? Then there's those bullies that go and pull the towels off the other guys. And then some boys hadn't hit puberty yet, so there wasn't like, they didn't have the landscape shrubs growing yet. So, I felt so bad for some guys, and it was like it was hard for me. Like that was one of those deals. Like guys, don't play with that stuff. Like that's them. But in junior high, anything that you can do to put other people down to make
Dude, middle school is savagery.
That was my worst, the worst time.
Yes,
I hated junior high.
I've been to third world countries. Yeah. I'm more terrified to go to a middle school locker room than some of these third world countries.
Ben, you ain't lying, man.
Dude, conversations are so weird, by the way. We started with your shirt brings out your eyes, and somehow we ended up with middle school pubic hair.
To naked kids.
So if you're still with us, sorry about that.
Oh, geez. But
that's what we do here.
If you are a male,
Yeah, all the men are sitting here nodding their head. They know. Man. Women are disgusted with us. We apologize. we'll move on. But before we move on, we do want to thank, obviously, our partner, Choctaw Casino Resort. Tyler, got a question for you. If you're going to take Tiff out, your wife, for a nice date, what type of food, what's one of the first types of food that pops in your head?
Yeah, steakhouse. 100%.
Steakhouse. Yep, I knew you would say that. That's 100%. Why I asked the question.
Yeah,
I think the same thing too.
You knew I was going to say that. I was going to throw a wrench.
I knew that you knew that I knew.
No, I'm going to play nice.
I think the same thing, right? A really nice steakhouse. Yeah. That fatty 48-ouncer.
Ooh, come on.
Mashed potatoes and French fries, whatever. The steakhouse is the place. Yep. And Choctaw has one of the best steakhouses in the area, for 100%. Sure. Dallas, Fort Worth, up to Durant, wherever. Mm-hmm. It's called 1842 Steakhouse. We had the pleasure of going there last year. We haven't been there since,
and we went right after they opened. I mean, I think they'd only been open a couple months, and typically restaurants like that in a market like inside a hotel, right? You don't attract just random passerbyers, right? Mm-hmm. You're typically marketing to your guests, and it was packed. And the food was phenomenal. Usually there's a ramp up time trying to figure it out, stuff like that. It was phenomenal. Now they brought in some like general managers from the top steakhouses in Dallas to run it there, chefs. I mean, it is out of this world. Yeah, we went with our wives, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is the best of the best, best of the best managers running it. So if for no other reason, the resort style pool, the hotels, all the slot machines, if for no other reason, get yourself up there for the steakhouse.
Tiffany and I, one of our favorite things is like anytime we're, in Vegas or Reno, now Durant, we've done this, is it's like, all right, you know what? We're going to plan a date night. We're going to do a date night. We already know that like, all right, look, we're going to splurge a little bit. We're going to have just really nice. I want to treat her really nice. But then when we're done, what we do is we go down and we're saying, all right, and we're going to put $40 down, and we're going to see if we can make that money back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and it's fun. And it's like, okay, it's $40. Like, I always hate losing money, but at the same time, it's like, all right, you know what? There's a good chance. And like we did a trip in Tahoe one time, same deal. And it was like, boom, dinner paid for and some.
There you go.
And same deal in Durant. Threw it down. Yeah. Made back most of dinner.
What other entertainment venue pays you to be there?
That's right.
So get yourself to Choctaw Casino and Resort, especially up to that steakhouse. Fellas, that's free advice for you.
Yeah.
Get yourself up there. Okay, topic at hand today. It's no secret that the fitness industry is rampant with sensationalist arguments, broad general statements. Everybody's trying to be innovative. Everybody's trying to be outlandish for you to get clicks, for them to sell you products. It's a wild, wild west industry.
Yeah. Let me ask you, has anyone ever heard something along the lines of, I've tried every diet. I've tried this, but you want to know what Hugh Jackman, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, what they did to get jacked for movies? Click on my link below and find out what they did. Yep. And they didn't do it by cutting carbs or doing excessive cardio.
Yep.
I'll share the secret food that's been lost for 50 years.
That's my favorite. The whole
secret food.
When they drop the secret on you, the secret food, the secret exercise, the secret workout plan. Oh, man. That's my favorite when they drop it. That's a big one.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go down the tangent of why that's the case. My assumption is because there's such a low barrier of entry into fitness.
Yeah.
You know, even if you do get certified as a personal trainer in fitness, it's very easy. Trust me, I took the test. Yeah. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Very low barrier of entry. Yeah. So I think that's part of what feeds.
Yeah.
Is it doesn't really take much to get into it, and everybody is an expert, right? Yeah. Because it doesn't take much. So anyway, as you said, everybody's got the secret. Everybody's got the magic pill. Everybody's selling something.
Yeah.
And there was an article that came out recently that was along these lines. And the title of the article was 6 Ways Coffee Can Enhance Athletic Performance. Sounds not too bad, right?
Right.
That sounds interesting to me.
I enjoy coffee from the months November through March.
Yeah, absolutely. So the point of the article was, the benefits of drinking coffee before training, before working out.
Yeah.
And it's got, as the name implies, 6 different reasons that it can enhance athletic performance. So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to go through this article because, again, I'm sitting here thinking about the person who's not super well-versed in fitness, maybe hasn't been around the industry, is new to it. And you would click on this article and be like, this is great. Coffee's going to change my life.
Yeah.
And these reasons, this sounds awesome. But what I want to do today is go through and really pick out the BS in this article because it's rampant. I mean, it's all over. I've got highlights everywhere of sensationalist arguments, generalizations, dabbing in studies, but not really, to try to sound smart. But they're kind of they're picking and choosing they're cherry picking, if you will.
Yes.
So I just want you guys to be careful because again, this is one of millions of articles out there that. If you're not super familiar with fitness, if you don't really know, if this isn't something you do all the time, you could easily fall into the trap of believing what you're reading. So that's what I want to do today is just kind of give you a taste, give you an example of why you got to be careful anytime you read these type of articles. Yep. So reason number 1, coffee helps burn fat and boost energy. That sounds pretty awesome, doesn't it? Who doesn't want to burn fat and boost energy? Okay. And this is literally the first sentence of the article. The first 2 sentences, I'm already about to attack. First sentence, the high levels of caffeine in coffee significantly improve the body's ability to burn fat during exercise. So already right out of the gates, we're going straight to the 0 to 100.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of problems with this statement, and I want to focus on that word during. So it's a common misconception that because the particular form of exercise is using fat as a fuel source, that means I'm going to burn more fat in my training. Technically, that's true. Because you are utilizing fat as a fuel source, yes, you are burning fat. However, that doesn't mean you're going to be a skinnier person or you're going to be a less weight person based on that particular
But
exercise.
okay, so walk me through this, and this is maybe me just being naive, but walk me through using fat as a fuel source as opposed to using carbohydrates and calories.
So there's different energy systems. You got 3 main energy systems. And I don't want to get too technical, but 0 to 10 seconds is one energy fuel source. That's your quick, like, hang cleans or your sprints, things like that. That's going to use more carbohydrates to fuel that particular form of exercise. That's your quick hitting, your ATP.
Yeah.
That's going to be your quick fuel source. What can your body tap into immediately to get that energy to fuel that? So that's your first few seconds of exercise. Anything really 0 to a minute calls on a little bit more of an intermediate energy system. So yes, it's using carbs, but when the carbs are burned out, then it can start to tip a little bit into those fat stores. Anything aerobic, longer than 2 minutes, long, think like jogging, think walking on a treadmill, that's going to use more of your fat. That's a more sustained fuel source. So fat doesn't really kick in until it's a long, steady, rhythmic type training. And so that's my problem with this first statement is the high levels of caffeine and coffee significantly improve the body's ability to burn fat during exercise. It's not the coffee, it's the type of exercise. So what type of exercise are you doing? That determines what type of, if you're actually burning fat as a fuel source or not. So the daring part is the point there. The second thing, these articles, like I said, they'll link studies. And nobody, when have you ever actually clicked on the study?
Yeah, read a white paper.
Read it.
Yeah.
So I did. I wanted to click on that study, and I said, well, what does the study even say? And so I went and read it. So here's where they're pulling information for that first sentence. The study says, the effect of caffeine intake on weight loss maintenance has not been examined in humans. We compared the daily consumption of coffee and caffeinated beverages between 494 weight loss maintainers and 2,129 individuals from the general population controlling for socio-demographic variables, body mass index, and physical activity level. Weight loss maintainers reported to consume significantly more cups of coffee and caffeinated beverages compared with the participants in the general population sample. Thus, consumption of caffeinated beverages might support weight loss maintenance. Further studies should investigate possible mechanisms. So they're making this claim.
That's the article that they referenced.
They're making this claim right out of the gate that coffee is going to significantly improve your ability to burn fat during exercise, based on a study that, by the way, hasn't even been really examined in human beings. And by the way, all they're doing is asking somebody, how much coffee do you drink?
Yeah.
That's the study they're basing off, this claim that coffee is going to be this magic fat burner. So does that seem extreme maybe that I'm picking that apart? Maybe a little bit, but that's my point.
Yeah.
They're going to throw that sentence in there, assuming you're not really going to do your homework.
Yeah.
Assuming you're not going to go read that study. That study is crap.
Yeah.
If you're trying to support the fact that coffee
it may not be crap, but it doesn't even really support what they're trying to say.
What you're trying to say.
It's saying, hey, look, here's the data. It's an incomplete, it's a guess. It hasn't physically been studied on humans, what like the metabolic impact is on it.
Yep.
And so we're just guessing.
Yep. So that's sentence number one, right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Sentence number two, they follow that brilliance up with this brilliance. In addition, drinking coffee in the morning means consuming fewer calories during the day because caffeine suppresses appetite. You drink coffee, don't you?
Yeah. Not regularly.
Okay, I drink coffee every day.
Yeah.
I can promise you it does not suppress my appetite.
It's zero. Zero.
So, and even if a study showed, maybe you're a little bit less, to say means it's going to make me consume fewer calories during the day because I drink coffee, that is absurd. That is a gross generalization.
And guess what? A lot of people, when they're drinking coffee, how many calories are they putting in it?
Right.
With the creams and sugars and all that are associated with it. So to me, unless you're drinking straight black coffee, and it's like, okay, and like say you're on intermittent fasting, it's like, okay, hey, I can have a bulletproof coffee, or I can have a black coffee, and I can do that, and I'm not going to eat until 1 or 2 o'clock today, and I'm going to follow that regimen, and then I'm going to moderate my calories on. But to say that it suppresses your
appetite, and it means, what does it say? It means consuming fewer calories during the day. So gross generalization, yes, maybe for some people, But again, I drink coffee every single anecdotally. Like it does nothing to suppress my appetite. No. So anyway, so that's point number one. We're coming out of the gates with some wild claims already. Number two, coffee increases metabolism. Research shows that consuming coffee is associated with a significant increase in metabolic rate during caffeine ingestion and continuing for 3 hours. Even if that's true.
Yeah.
Let's say that is true. Let's say it does increase your metabolic for 3 hours. There is a whole lot more time left in the day.
Yep.
Who cares if it suppresses or if it increases your metabolism for 3 hours?
Yeah.
That still leaves a ton of time left in the day.
And I don't even know if that's accurate, right? Because caffeine has like a shelf life of like
it's like
6 to 8 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
Which means that you'll consume it, but then it just burns off on a slow pace, like for a longer period of time. So you're not processing it all at once. So again,
the claim they're trying to make is that, hey, coffee's this magic metabolism increaser. Even if it does help it for 3 hours, trust me, that's not going to help much.
Yep.
So claim number two, again, they're reaching a little bit there. Claim number three, coffee enhances athletic performance. That's a pretty broad statement, I'd say. So then in that subsection, they say caffeine enables an athlete to train longer with greater power output and resistance to fatigue. Again, that's a pretty general, broad statement.
So to say you're more athletic.
Right.
No, what you're saying is it increases your capacity during a workout, which I would say is caffeine. That's one of the benefits of it.
Yep,
that's one of the benefits of it, as opposed to not. And essentially, again, it's energy. It does increase your metabolic rate, which by increasing your heart rate, right? And so, yes, I do think if you do a workout without caffeine versus with caffeine, like there's a difference. But to label it as athletic ability or athletic performance, that has nothing to do with it. Caffeine is not going to change the way that you move. It's not going to change your flexibility. It's not going to change your speed. It's not going to change any of that.
That's right.
So, okay.
And then a little further down, it says coffee stimulates the body to use fat stores instead of muscle glycogen, aka sugar during long workouts. This allows for prolonged use of working muscles. We just debunked this in the first sentence.
Yeah.
It's not the coffee that's making you tap into your fat stores. Yeah. It's the type of exercise you're enduring. Yeah. Longer term exercise, by definition, is going to use fat as a fuel source. Yeah. That's just part of it. So that has nothing. So for you to sit here and say the coffee that stimulates that's not true. It's the type of exercise that stimulates that. Yeah. So again, I'm not a hater of coffee, by the way. Yeah. I love coffee.
Yeah. But we'll talk about the benefits of caffeine, because there are. In my opinion, it's one of 3 supplements that you'll actually see noticeable attributes from.
Right. Number 5, coffee reduces muscle pain.
What?
I highlighted this whole section. A small study involving 9 women suggested that drinking 2 cups of coffee can reduce post-workout muscle soreness. This is significant for active people concerned about soreness after an intense workout.
A small study. Talk about the ultimate cherry picking.
9 women is the study you're citing to say that you can decrease muscle soreness with coffee? Wow. 9 people?
By the study, they probably walked through their office and was like, hey, coffee makes you feel better after workout. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Hey, here's some money. Coffee makes you feel better, right?
Hey, Jan. Hey, does coffee make you feel better when you work out? Yeah. Oh, I totally need a cup of coffee after. Awesome. Hey, Karen. Hey, coffee makes you.
Hey, okay. To be fair, next sentence. Another small study of 9 caffeine-consuming males found that caffeine significantly reduced post-workout muscle soreness and shortened recovery time versus a placebo when measured on 2 and 3 days post-workout. So let's be fair to the article. Yes, it was 9 women, but they also did it with 9 men. So now we've got 18 people worth of studies that shows the reducing muscle soreness.
Good.
So thank goodness. Thank goodness for those 2 studies. Now I'm convinced.
Now let's just talk through what actual muscle recovery and reduction. Muscle soreness is due to inflammation, right? And caffeine does not reduce inflammation.
Right.
And it does not repair muscles. Now, if you're talking about taking an anti-inflammatory...
Well, here in a minute, they're going to claim it does, but...
Anti-inflammatory and in some sort of protein, right? Some sort of amino acid that actually goes towards muscle repair, right?
Yep.
Like, caffeine has nothing to do with that.
Nothing. And then they wrap up that particular section. You'll like this. Drinking a cup of coffee prior to exercise may help those who tend to give up during a workout. Exercise can cause painful lactic acid buildup when the muscle is stressed. Some people stop working out because of this discomfort.
Drink coffee and you will be so mentally tough.
You're going to be Superman or Superwoman.
So mentally tough. You're going to overcome everything.
I mean, what are you basing this on? What
I want to know is where you found this article.
Right. Well, it's called, I forget the website name. And I don't remember how I stumbled upon it. But my point, it's really less about this particular specific article. It is. Yeah. But it's more about this is everywhere.
Everywhere.
If you go Google fitness, you're going to find article after article just like this.
Yeah.
But I love that line. Some people they
give up
drinking coffee tend to give up during a workout.
Coffee will overcome that. Guaranteed.
That's what we were missing last week.
That's
Saturday
what it
suffering.
was.
I didn't drink coffee.
Enough coffee.
Frank.
Yeah.
That was my.
See.
And then lastly, coffee helps fight disease. Love that. Coffee and caffeine have been linked to disease prevention. Studies have shown coffee reduces inflammation, improves Parkinson's disease symptoms, and lowers the incidence of certain cancers. It may also lower the occurrence of gallstones. I don't know why they threw that in there. That's really random.
Yeah, gallstones.
Thing to throw in for athletic performance. Yeah. I guess you can link that if you're healthy, you're going to perform better, I guess. But that seems like a weird point to throw in.
Yeah,
this is how coffee improves your athletic
performance. I don't know why
performance.
the CDC and World Health Organization didn't prescribe coffee to beat COVID. You know what I mean?
You watch your tongue. The CDCs are saints.
But again, it's exactly what you're saying, right? The sensationalism that these people are putting out there, and how many people buy into it, and pay and be like, oh yeah.
And by the way, I don't blame the people that are consuming this information and confused about it.
Yeah.
If you have a normal job and this isn't something of course you're not going to know. Yeah. I mean, none of that sounds. I mean, I guess some of it sounds pretty outrageous, but you know what I mean? Like it's especially if you're linking studies to it. Like it's like, okay, well, that makes sense. That's all
you have to say, and like people are like, oh yeah,
oh gosh,
studies show
studies show. That's my biggest pet peeve. These fitness influencers that there's certain studies that show blah 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 blah. Or another one of my favorites is, I'm not going to get too deep into the science of this, but but X, Y, and I'm like, you're not going to get to the science of it because you don't know the science of it, you moron.
Oh, it's so true. And that's what we had Dr. Lane Norton on, and what I love about him, and he can be controversial and but like it's he bases it completely off of science, and it's not like he's using a study. He's using meta studies, which meta studies are a compilation of
multiple studies.
Yeah. And then but again, using his education, using his experience, using all those things, it's just look, let's just call it like it is. Like a lot of this stuff is BS. And those, some of my favorite things to watch of his is when he'll watch somebody's video and then he'll just critique it.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my gosh.
And that's the point of this is it can be confusing. There's a lot of outrageous claims out there. Yeah. So, making sure that your resources, like a Dr. Lane Norton, if you're interested at all in nutrition, Dr. Lane Norton is one of the best follows for that. He's going to cut through the BS. He's actually a scientist. He's been doing this for 30 plus years. Yeah. He is a truly, does he go a little bit crazy on Instagram? The reason he does that though, well, one is his personality, but two, he's playing the game of you got to get attention. Yeah. You have to. Yeah. And so don't lose the message of the content with, how he goes about it.
Well, and it's so funny, right? With him is he's so deep into the education and research and studies of it, so deep. If you heard him on Joe Rogan, he was on Joe Rogan. He did, he did a debate, keto versus non-keto, right? And it was like the difference in it. And like he acknowledged, look, there are some benefits of it, but like the amount of studies that he pulled up and the research it was one of my favorite episodes that I've like heard. But when you get that deep, what you find is how simple it really is. Like, and you hear him say all the time, like, look, it's not about keto. It's not about intermittent fasting. It is 100% about if you want to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit.
That's right. Yep.
Now, there's like layers of like, okay, are you getting all of your macronutrition, nutrients? Are you getting all the things that you need to actually like function, as a whole? But like, it's simple. Like it's not as complicated as everybody makes it. There's no secret. There's no like fruit that you can find in the Amazon jungle that's the superfood that's gonna fix everything, right? It's very, very simple what does it come down to? It comes down to discipline and it comes down to consistency.
Yeah. You want to know the secret to better athletic performance?
Yeah.
I wrote some things down.
Yeah.
But guess what? I can't make money off of these. That's why these aren't as popular.
Yeah.
Number one, train with intensity and recover adequately.
Yeah.
That's pretty simple, right? Consume adequate protein and a well-balanced diet. Hydration, get adequate sleep, and mitigate unnecessary stress. Those are the real secrets.
Yeah.
Those are the foundational principles. If you stick to those 5 things,
yeah,
you're going to perform well. You're going to be a physically fit person. Now, if you want to throw in coffee on the top of that because, you personally like the way it makes you feel or whatever, great. But if you're looking at coffee as some sort of
fix all
or some sort of secret, or you're looking at any supplement product, which again, I'm all for supplements. They're absolutely great. But if you're not taking care of the basics first, those supplements are going to be
meaningless. And I would argue too, though, like there are like the overall idea that coffee does help with workouts. I would not disagree with that because I do believe that caffeine. So there's three supplements really that you're going to see results from is caffeine, protein, and creatine.
Yep.
Creatine monohydrate, the simple. Those are the 3 that you're actually going to get your money's worth. The others, you're going to see a little bit of an increase, but you're not going to see 50% gains. Right. You're not going to see those things because, again, your body, whether you're putting them in or not, your body is not going to absorb and metabolize all of them and use everything that you put in your body. That's right. But those 3, if you just were on 3, like in my opinion, those are the 3 that I would say, okay, I would, you can invest money into that.
Yep. So anyway, be on the lookout, guys. These articles are everywhere. I would encourage you to do if you're going to take the time to read the article and you're going to want to implement some of these things, just take a little bit extra time and just look into this stuff a little bit.
Yeah, and what I would say too is definitely pay to take your body type survey or your metabolism survey or your how to lose weight survey. If they offer you a survey, pay whatever it is. Do it. Do it.
Get your mouth swabbed so that you can find out
so you can get the secret.
Yeah. Get your mouth swabbed so you can find out your body type and figure out if you're able to lose body fat or not.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Because it's all based on your body type.
100%. 100%.
So anyway, hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully, calling out some of the BS and just being mindful. Just look into stuff a little. Don't take it at face value. Yeah. Look into if it sounds a little suspicious, it probably is. If it sounds sensationalized, it probably is.
If it literally sounds like, oh, that's it, that's the secret, or oh my, I've been missing this, or if they say that there's one thing that is going to change your life, it's not true.
Yeah. They've pretty much discovered most of the important things by this point. Yeah. If there's something new and innovative and cool, it's probably just new and innovative. That's all it is. Yeah. Try to make money off.
How long did that acai
berry?
Acai berry.
That's my people.
That's the superfruit, the Monavi,
And again, how long did that last? Great benefits of it, but it's certainly not the life-changing claim. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please help us by sharing the podcast. Text it to a buddy, post it to your Instagram, post it to your LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever. Really, really helps us out when you guys share the show. Right. Also, if you would please, even if you already have, go leave us a 5-star review on whatever platform you listen to. I mostly, when I listen to podcasts, on Apple podcast app, super easy. It's got the little stars at the bottom. Just click that 5-star for us. Leave us a review. It takes 15 seconds. Super easy.
Same with YouTube. Give us a like there. Send us comments if you have questions, concerns, challenges, whatever you want. Comment. We'd love to interact with you.
So anyway, hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. We will see you tomorrow.